At number 15, Monsters University. If this movie was attending a Pixar University, it would get a A minus for me, a near perfect passing grade. I still don't get the hate for this smart and a heartwarming prequel to my all-time favourite Pixar movie. While it may not have lived up to my impossible expectations back in 2013, it's nearly reached them. I mean, the fact that we found out that Mike was the more likable character to begin with, and Sully started out as the popular jerk. I mean, was but they gradually learnt to work together in order to win their team of Uzma Kappa, the Scare Games. I mean, was was a direction I did not expect them to take, and the university campus looks stunning. If I was a university student, that would be my choice to go there. And Dean Hardscrabble, maybe voiced by Helen Mirren excellently, maybe the most excellent character in the movie. And this movie adds even more to the Monsters Inc. lore and universe by expanding on what scares do monsters use, and who and which monsters of the past broke the all-time scare record. I mean, uh, I mean, is are the first two acts of the movie weaker than the third act? Sure, but I mean that third act, that final half an hour was just perfect, and I I am begging Pixar to do a sequel to Monsters Inc. next time, where we see Boo as an adult. Here they are, ladies and gentlemen, the Pixar movies that floored me at number 14, Up. Well, yes, I know Up is shockingly lower than you predicted, but this has always been my least favourite movie from my favourite Pixar director, Pete Docter. I mean, it's nothing short of a masterpiece. Don't get me wrong. It's just I always found this movie a little, sometimes too sad and tougher to watch. I mean, with Carl Fredricksen going through all that grief at the beginning, but after that the movie does get more fun, and once we get to the balloon house going to Venezuela, to Paradise Falls, and Russell and Doug and Kevin, the bird, even though she's female, go on this grand adventure, and Charles Mutz makes for one of Pixar's most sinister villains. And I mean, sure, I have no idea how he's still alive, even though he's older than Carla. But Pete Docter Pixar movies always make you weep, and Up is no exception. And it's really gives you a new perspective on life, how adventure is not necessarily the places you visit. It's life itself is an adventure, and you should enjoy every minute of it. Number 13, the most surprising Pixar animated feature, Coco. Now, I did not think Coco would be anything special when I first saw the trailer. I thought, come on, Pixar, you're just trying to do Book of Life all over again. But I couldn't be more wrong. Coco beyond surprised me by how beautiful it was. I mean, both in looks and in meaning. It displays a Mexican culture magnificently, and has a more heartfelt story than Book of Life ever is, and especially the Land of the Dead. I know Soul also did the afterlife, but Coco did it first, and the land and the world of the dead in Coco, it feels more alive than the actual world of the living. I mean, this is one of the few times where the twist villain didn't bother me when we find out that Ernesto de la Cruz was the villain this entire time, and Hector was Miguel's actual grandfather, and when Miguel returns to the world of the living and he sings "Remember Me," that's what to his great grandmother, Mother Coco, the titular character of the movie. That is a shining example of a Pixar ending that makes you cry galleons of tears. And if a Pixar movie made you cry, then it's struck a chord with you. At number 12, Onward. I know what you're all thinking. Harry, are you sure about that? You put Onward above Coco? Well, here's why. Onward was, well, a break from Pixar sequels that we all needed after after being after we've had our fill of Pixar sequels throughout the 2010s. I mean, Onward was the perfect movie to come out after Toy Story 4, and I really don't think people give this movie enough credit. And Dan Scanlon. I mean, he's just getting better and better as a director at Pixar, and goodness knows how great his future movie could be. But this, you could see that this is another personal Pixar movie to the director, as Dan Scanlon sadly lost his father so young. So he wanted to tell a story about the idea, what if you could spend just one day with your deceased father, and I mean, Ian, Chris Pratt and Tom Holland are some of the best cast members ever to do voice work for a Pixar movie, and Ian realizing that the closest thing he had to a father was his brother Barley. I mean, it really hit me in the feels harder than I ever anticipated, and even we even have a strong mother in a Pixar movie after such a long wait. So yeah, Laurel and the Manticore get to go on a journey together to look for Ian and Barley. So thank goodness the women of this story weren't wasted, and we also, not only do we get a mother that's alive in a Disney movie, we get a step parent who's actually a decent guy. I did initially criticise the movie for having no villain, but you know what? So the dragon that they battle at the end still counts as a worthy enough threat. So yeah, I did originally rate Onward 4 stars, but now I rate it 5, and for so long this was my favourite animated movie of 2020. At number 11, At number 11, the superior of the Finding Nemo duology, Finding Nemo, the original. Yes, Finding Nemo at the time when I saw this movie as a kid sweep me off my feet, and it still does to this day. And shout out to Lauren 210, a awesome friend and subscriber of mine. This is her favourite Pixar movie, and I can see why. This is once again a personal story to director Andrew Stanton, as he was a protected parent to his son. I love how some Pixar movies are based on personal experiences in the director's life, and yeah, not only does the ocean in this movie and the Australian Great Barrier Reef look simply vast, but the adventure that Marlin and Dory go on is just chock full of peril and colourful characters from the vegetarian sharks to the anglerfish to the jellyfish to Crush and his turtle buddies, and even Nemo gets just as much focus while this adventure is going on with the tank gang, and both. I mean, Nemo learns to find his confidence, and Marlin, through his journey with Dory, learns to be a less paranoid parent and let Nemo have some independence. And Dory is straight up the show stealer in this entire movie. She deserved her own sequel. I do think this movie has the edge over Finding Dory, as it is darker and it is more ambitious. Okay, we've made it to the top 10 now, guys. At number 10, The Incredibles. Yes, I know that most would take the first Incredibles over the sequel, but yeah, sure, I'm in the minority here, but we'll get to Incredibles 2 shortly. But as for the first movie, I mean, boy, is it incredible. It lives up to its name and more. I mean, Brad Bird, he is a animation legend. I mean, after the Iron Giant in 1999, Pixar should have let him direct a Pixar movie sooner. I mean, he made the one of the greatest superhero movies ever made, literally, animated or live action. This movie not only shows superheroes kicking ass, but it also tells a more adult story than most superheroes would. How Bob and Helen are dealing with struggles with Bob's job, and Helen struggling to keep her superpowered kids under control, and the sequel would continue those themes. I mean, and from one Brad Bird Pixar movie to another, at number 9, Brad Bird's most underrated Pixar movie, Ratatouille. Yes, sadly, Ratatouille doesn't get the attention of either Incredibles movies, but it deserves it. I was extremely lucky to see this movie at the cinema for my birthday back in 2012, and it was one of the most full up screenings I've ever seen. We were worried we weren't going to see the movie, but luckily there were just enough seats free, and gosh, Ratatouille is a sheer brilliance in animation, and its message about talents. Gusteau's motto, "Anyone can cook," means that not everybody will be good at everything, but talent can come from anywhere, and Remy, even though he's a rat and will not be considered a chef by society, his talent cannot be ignored, and Anton Ego sees that, and his speech at the end of this movie is one of the best scenes Pixar have ever done. Rest in peace, Peter O'Toole, and even and Linguini is just one of Pixar's most hilarious characters to date. I mean, seeing Remy just coltrol him by tugging his hair, and seeing him struggle to listen to both Colette and Remy, who are forcing him to follow their way. It's just it's a slapstick at its finest, and also the scene where all of the rats are cooking in the kitchen. That scene is a total triumph of animation. Well, guys, this is my final video of 2020, and part 3 will be coming in 2021, so stay tuned for that, and Happy New Year to each and every one of you, wishing you all the best for the new year and wishing you a far happier and better year than 2020. You will all nail your goals and resolutions this year for sure. You've got this, and remember to be kind through and spread a positivity throughout 2021. We all need it. So well, thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart for being consistently supportive of my channel throughout this year, and goodbye 2020, and I'll see you all in 2021. Bye for now, guys.